Hey, Rob. Hey, Curtis. What's going on?
How you doing?
Hey, now.
Hey, now
look at
back.
that.
Look
He's
at that.
back.
Wow. Sounding good, huh?
So today is kind of an interesting story, if you will. I have to say, because it's public, Southern California Edison's Green Rate and Community Renewables Program.
Right.
Yeah, I got some concerns about that. You know, a long time ago, back in the 90s, the AQMD fined, Edison, PG&E, and San Diego Gas and Electric. I think primarily Edison. No, they all got together, and they got fined for polluting the environment.
Right.
They got fined millions of dollars. So what did they do? They come out and say, hey, why don't we be smart about this? Start a green program. Let's call it a solar rebate program. It'll be open to residential and business customers.
Right.
Well, of course, Edison's a for-profit business.
That's right.
And they couldn't wait to put that straw in the middle of that rebate and suck it out, which they did. So we had all these opportunities come into place. So they had to all put $3.2 billion into the hopper. And then that's how the rebates were done. We talked about this last show.
Right.
The rebate being at $4.50. Right. Holy crap, Batman. It'd be nice to sell a deal at $4.50 right now, right?
Right.
I mean, you got guys that are scraping along the bottom. The guy that's making the money is a solar panel manufacturer that's bypassed the tariffs in China.
Right.
Because all he's doing is ship them. He ships them to BFE and he ships them to XYZ, and then XYZ brings them over to us.
Right.
And that's how they avoid this tariff that the United States government put into place, which is absolutely means squat
We
to
need
anybody.
to do a show completely on that, so I can show you how the tariff is actually having the contrary effect in that.
It doesn't mean anything.
No, because it's not protecting against anti-dumping. In fact, if you're building a power plant or something large scale like a utility, you're almost being forced to use a foreign product.
Forced.
And we should do a show on that.
So wasn't it meant to be? We're supposed to use more United States products, bring everything back to America.
Yes.
Yay! Red, white, and blue, and all this other stuff. And we're still getting beat up by Ping, Pang, Bing, and Bong. All those guys at the same time.
Because the problem
it's
is,
ridiculous.
if you put a 30% tariff on somebody who has a product that's 50% less, they still can compete if
that's true.
You then put a tariff of 30% on an American company that also produces abroad. Well, who doesn't do that? I have an iPhone, all right? It's designed in California as right here in Silicon Valley. Are they an American company? Everyone would say yes, but do they produce worldwide?
Yep.
Yes, so is the tariff going to be on that and I can't afford a phone now? We've got to be reasonable because
it's ridiculous.
And we have to have people that understand the nuances of a market space writing the tariffs if they're going to do a tariff, which I think mostly tariffs are just for failed policy.
Here's what I think should happen, and there's starting to be a movement now. We already know that the average American who has zero political backgrounds getting educated, they're actually gunning for the Senate seats.
Yes.
We just had one in New York.
Absolutely, yeah.
We all know who she is, right?
Yeah.
She's, nobody special, although, very politically moved by her city of New York. She was a concerned, citizen. She turned that thing around 180 degrees and she goes, you know what? I'm not going to tolerate this anymore.
Yeah. Right.
And screw these guys. She won the Senate seat last election.
Where the battle was so uphill.
Congrats to her.
Yeah, the battle was so uphill. It's almost crazy for anyone to think they can. But, the idea that she just said average Americans should be representing average Americans.
Absolutely.
Well, even when we come back into this whole thing of solar and energy efficiency, I want to see average Americans taking their power back.
Absolutely.
She helped people take their political power back. I want you to take your
power back.
Okay, because right now you have two choices. You either let the utility keep doing what they're doing and you pay them.
Right.
Or you become your utility and pay yourself.
Wow.
It kind of gets down that simple. And what we're about to talk about today with that new green rate program, it's Edison admitting that the future is solar. It's their future. They're building the fields. They're buying the fields of solar power. They just don't want that future on your roof.
That's right. So
they want to own it.
All you solar integrators out there, commercial, residential, industrial, whatever you are, get ready. Southern California Edison is about to put a plug in your game plan.
Right.
Yeah.
And this is it. And it's just depressing just to read about it a little bit. You know, it says supporting local renewable power to create a clean energy future. Really? Come on, man. We get it. It's a great spin on. It's a great marketing thing, but it's only going to go back to these guys. And in their rate plan, they talked about if you buy the solar energy that our farms produce, we're going to give you a cheaper discount. And they went from, 38 cents? Is that a discount?
No, because if you look at it this way, and this is directly from.
Am I missing something here?
Yeah, because the first page of their PDF that you could download, it's all fluffy like that, and then you get down here, and then it gives you two examples.
Yep.
If you do 100% level, purchase, so you're buying clean energy instead of dirty. Remember how McDonald's said, "Hey, now we're using 100% real beef," and
That's
we all
right.
said,
we're no longer eating kangaroo.
What the hell have I been eating for 20 years?
Right.
So $100 monthly bill for Edison, equaling about 562 kilowatts. If you multiply this by the clean energy, it actually equals an extra $21 a month you're paying. It's not a savings. Don't make them think it's a savings. Do you see that?
Yeah.
Yep.
So
$11 more if you're buying 50%.
So it's a privilege to buy it from them, and you're paying more money.
And what we're saying is if you put the utility on your roof, you get to have the same clean energy for less money.
And
own
probably only an interconnection fee of $10.
Right.
So why would you drink the Kool-Aid on these clowns that they're distributing right now? It doesn't make any sense.
I know the answer to that.
You got your hand up, Rob. Go ahead. Knowledge, right.
And it's tough. We have busy lives.
Right.
We have families. We have wives and husbands and children and work and school and all these things.
Fortnite, come on.
Fortnite. Hey, you know what? Game of Thrones is back on.
Let's do it.
Are busy. But they don't get down and they barely read the bill beyond how much they owe a month. And then something like this comes on. I'd be wondering how many people, Edison customers, are actually reading this.
I bet you $100.
They're hearing it for the first time.
This never went. Yeah, this never went to never came to my mail.
No, unless you're searching their website like we do all the time to see what other little trick is coming along, and we do that for all the utilities. Most people don't know about this.
And they all mostly are tricks.
Yeah,
which is disgusting.
Yeah.
So, I think hearing it today might be the first for most listeners.
$21 extra each month for renewable energy.
Right.
You know why? Because, again, they put that straw in the middle of that rebate.
Absolutely.
They sucked it dry. These guys are getting so many benefits. Hey, it wouldn't surprise me if the United States government is not already getting a kickback for kind of helping this out.
Don't know.
Right?
Absolutely.
And these are the guys that had that fantastic fire in Malibu, lost all those houses, and there were people that were killed.
Yeah.
Let's talk about that. Let's go to that story and really make these guys accountable. Look at PG&E. They just burned half of Northern California, and now they're going to have to be accountable. Instead of putting this kind of news out, hey, we're going to charge you more money, why don't we just get down to the brass tacks?
Well, you know what the brass tacks is in this case? As you know, and I know, and Curtis knows, we've been doing this, for almost 3 decades, some of us
Something
here.
like that, yeah.
This is news from a decade ago.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to be able to give you
They
clean
were planning
energy
this a
for
long
more.
time. That's right.
No? Because you know what?
Yep.
Clean energy used to cost you more. For them to now come out and say, we'll sell you energy for more, that worked 10 years ago. But clean energy today on your roof is less.
Exactly.
It is not more.
Yep.
So they're selling you. It's like selling you a used car and claiming it's a new idea.
Right.
It just really isn't. So we should not be paying more for clean energy, people. If it's done right and designed right and installed right by a qualified ethical company, you should be getting your clean energy for less, and you should be able to own it and be able to cut as much of the tie from the utility, become your own utility. To me, it's ridiculous to charge you more.
They're
for
doing
energy.
it. Why can't we do it?
So they're admitting it works.
Of course it works.
But
they love it.
They got to keep you hooked to that IV.
Yeah.
It's that energy drip. It's that drug of choice. It's that caffeine in the morning. It's whatever it is. But they want to keep you connected to it. So this is what they're doing. They're not even trying to get it to you for less.
Here's what I think. I think
it's mind-boggling.
I think everybody should have a natural gas 10 kilowatt generator sitting on the outside of their house
You could.
with a transfer switch. So if the grid goes down or the zombie apocalypse occurs,
Right.
they can get, energy to that because,
Sure.
once the grid's volatile, the grid's going to crash so bad,
Right.
it's not even going to be repairable for a long time, we're talking, right?
It could
Especially if
be-
you hit the infrastructure.
Well, yeah, if we look at natural disasters that have happened in other countries, and they will hit here eventually.
Eventually.
It wasn't power out for 3 hours or 3 days. It was out for 10 days, 15
10 days. You can't,
3 weeks.
the normal person living in a single family residence is going to freak out.
Yeah, so that's why design.
Imagine no power
No,
for 10 to 15 days.
right.
Okay, so let's do that, and then let's create some type of a bill that says consumers have the right to disconnect from their utility company.
Right.
Let's do that. When they build these little single-family resident communities and stuff like that, they have an agreement with the municipality there,
Right.
and they get taxes and all kinds of interconnection fees and all this other junk. They all share a part of that, right?
Right.
So your local utility provider, whoever is in that territory, actually gets all those additional houses, and there's a connection fee,
Yes.
right? So now, we're just kind of like, we're victims. So how do you break away from it? We should have the option, like we have the option to do a lot of things currently.
Right.
We should be able to say, hey, there's a new technology that's out there. I want to hook it up to my house, and I want to disconnect from the local utility without paying them a dime more.
Right.
I was always thinking of magnetic perpetual motion. You put a box together and it's got magnetics. It's about a 10K system, and it runs and runs and runs for the next 10 years.
Yeah.
And you don't got to pay nothing to those guys.
Right.
It's not dangerous.
Right.
There's a lot of things that we can use from that, right?
Absolutely. Well, it all comes down to politics and legislation and government saying companies like this are too large to fail, and you have to be, for emergency at least, still connected. And maybe one day that legislation changes, because quite honestly, when you do get that new home and you're buying it, you should have the option of someone's coming up and saying, okay, so you have the option of LED WP, or if it's you're in Edison area, or you have a solar alternative, or you have this alternative. And right now, they don't until we walk into the home.
That's right.
That's for sure.
They have zero opportunity.
Yeah. But this to me, like I said, this is just this is a straightforward admission of they understand where the future of energy is. They just don't want it on your roof because they want that monthly income, and they want more than the connection fee. All right. They're not going to maintain lines if everyone goes.
How do you
solar.
get back at the solar industry?
Yeah, and I honestly
You
think
talk just like this.
this. But I think what's interesting here is it only works if people aren't informed, because no longer do you have to pay. I'm not going to pay $21 more a month to get clean energy.
You
Why?
know what? Just like that critical peak pricing that happened on March 1st,
Right.
you as a consumer, you may not have the flipping right to say anything about that. It just
don't.
may happen
Exactly.
to say, hey, we've heard all the legislation and we've heard all the lobbyists. Yeah, okay. We're going to move to a cleaner, renewable source.
Mm-hmm.
So you're going to get power from us, from our solar grid.
Yeah.
And then we're going to charge you an extra $21. So that just sounds like another line item that's going right next to the public purchase program.
Exactly.
$9.99 a month. I mean, there's 15, 16 million customers, right?
Yeah.
How much money do they really, really need to make?
Well, and look at that. You know that I'm working on a power plant,
Yep.
over 500,000 panels.
I love it.
Who's buying it?
Yeah.
Edison.
Yeah.
Edison will sign a 30-year PPA, or a company like them,
Yep.
and that's how are they paying that? Oh, $21 a month extra for clean energy.
That's exactly right.
But yet I could go and put the power plant, a nano power plant, on your roof, and you could pay 30%, maybe less, for your power.
and never
and
have to
own
pay
it.
for that again.
No, and when that's paid off, you stop paying. Like if you pay a car off, do you keep making the monthly payment?
No, it's a great feeling.
So why don't you do that with your power?
We talk about Title 24, right?
Yeah.
We want to do better windows. We want to text coat your house. We want to put better insulation value. Now it's like R48.
Right.
We want to put a reflective roof. Mm-hmm. Of course, we're still 20 years behind Germany and all those other countries that have done this. They're laughing at America for all that stuff.
We should not be trailing, by the way.
Right.
Yeah.
So you get your HERS rating system, and let's put that really into effect, right? Realtors cannot sell houses if the house does not have a percentage of efficiency built into the house.
Right.
How about banks? The one we're working on right now,
Right.
this bank will not loan this company any money unless they have 15% of that on their roof, which is
Being
solar.
solar, exactly.
Yes.
And so, but they get a preferred rate and preferred terms.
That's right.
So it's that's just another incentive, and I think we're going to see a lot more of that in the future.
I think it's great.
But this
I
here,
encourage it.
This to me is both a little sad and laughable to have people trying to say, hey, we admit it's right. We just don't want you to own it. We'll own it and we'll charge you a little bit more.
Nothing like having a wolf in the hen house, right?
I'm not just paying the 6 to 7% more a year. You just didn't shift my time of use and cost me more money at my family's time. You didn't just add more demand charges.
Right.
You didn't just add more critical peak pricing for my business. Now you're saying, but by the way, I'll give you clean energy because it's been dirty up until now, and I'm going to go ahead and pay. I'm going to make you pay a little bit more again.
Yeah.
Shouldn't it be a break?
It even said here in 2015, California Public Utilities Commission approved the new rate option.
Yes. Yeah.
This was done many years ago.
Oh, absolutely.
4 or 5 years ago.
Yeah. Yeah.
So they just came about to writing this up. And you know how these guys are. They like to take their time and, it's kind of just slam it on you all at once.
We end up having people in our office every week checking with every utility just to keep up with the newest angle. I think that's what it is. It's an angle. But this one right here, folks out there, don't pay more for clean energy.
Don't do it.
Put it on your own roof. Do it with a reputable
company.
Do it
yourself.
Do it with a great product and installation and design. And save 30-40% on your bill and own the darn thing. Don't pay someone else for clean energy.
Absolutely not.
You don't need to get your energy from miles away. You need to get it from about 8 feet above your head.
That's right.
Right on your roof.
And the funny thing about it is these poor commercial customers we have to deal with on a day-to-day basis, squealing about what demand charge is. We just came back from a guy that owns a cheese factory. Yeah. He goes, "What's demand?"
He didn't know.
Literally, he goes, "What's a demand charge?"
No, he didn't know.
Yeah.
They just know that their bill is $3,000 to $5,000 a month, and they're going to pay it. That's just how it is to do business.
Right.
Education and being informed is everything.
Yeah.
So if they're doing it to commercial customers, now that time of use is on the residential level,
Oh, yeah.
guess what's coming down the road? It wouldn't surprise me if there's a demand charge placed on every home in Southern California that spikes over a specific amount of kilowatt at any given time.
Yeah. At some point, I would anticipate that. I think sometimes, whether it's in the residential,
If they don't, I'm going to be disappointed.
yeah,
It's somewhat in place already anyway at 41 cents.
every time they do it to
Insane.
one sector, it's almost like a movie trailer.
Yeah.
It's giving you a preview of what might be coming to you.
That's right.
And so that's another reason we talk about why would you stay signed up with such unpredictability. I get stressed in my life when I don't know what my life is costing me. But if I could fix that cost, right, and if I could get that under control, I rest a bit easier, don't I? And I save money.
The sad part is 2019, we have the ability to do that right now.
Better than we ever have been able
It's
to.
going to be the last year of solar Christmas, as far as I'm concerned. So consumers that really don't take advantage of the 30% federal tax credit, that don't take advantage of having an American-made panel on your roof, something you don't have to bubble wrap and ship back to Beijing on an RMA.
Right.
If you don't take advantage of that, deal with a local contractor that's in your house, next to your community, that has been doing this for a long, long time. And of course, our friends at Solaria.
Yeah.
I have to talk about them all the time. Make the best panel on the planet. SMA America makes a great inverter that you can get 2 kilowatts of energy when the sun's out, just in case the grid goes down. Our friends at Generac. Use those guys to put in your, your natural gas zombie apocalypse 10K backup.
Right. I think that's the model, right?
Is there a Z in there somewhere?
It's a Z for zombie.
You know what? And do these home energy efficiencies like we talk about all the time to your house. Minimize your expenditures, specifically to the utility provider, and then get out of there. You were telling me there was a guy that he's a What was he? He's kind of he's doing a well in his garage.
No.
Oh, what was it? What was the name of that?
No. Well, no. We've got sometimes we.
What was the title of that?
We come across preppers. Sometimes.
Preppers. There we go. Good for the preppers, baby.
A lot of time they're either environmentalists, they're veterans. They're in the military. Yeah. They want to control because they also believe at some point, a war can hit, or more likely earthquake or something can hit.
Definitely.
And they want to control their resources.
Right.
So they're they got garages full of some food. They're putting solar on the roof.
50 caliber slugs.
Actually they do. And they'd like wells, although that's not legal. So do what you legally can do, obviously. But they're just trying to be prepared, as in the name prepper.
Right.
And they're very big on being solar clients because but you know what? When something does happen, they'll be the house in the neighborhood with the lights on.
That's right. You're going to be getting robbed by the biggest guy on the block coming to take all your food.
Yeah. It's like
he's going to rip your door off and take everything out of there.
It's like the one comic who said, "What am I growing vegetables for? What am I doing? Growing for the biggest guy on the block? He's just going to come and take my zucchini." And
that's right. He's coming for you, baby.
Yeah, but I mean, being prepared is obviously it's very important.
Everything.
But even on the basics, just control your cost. Because like you said, not only do we have the incentives going away and we have costs going up, the price for technology at this moment is really great. Like, we've got top-notch quality that
I've never seen it better.
It would have cost you triple this just years ago.
Yep. 12 years ago.
But then people will say, well, should I wait for the next technology? And quite honestly, technology in solar goes a bit slow. And when you start getting to the high efficiencies, there's only so far they can go. And then when you look at losing 30% tax incentive, you're never going to make up that 30% cost. Like, it's not going to drop 30.
That's permanent.
And so
it's not like an iPhone, No, the iPhone 55X is coming out now.
But exactly. And right now, you just think about who you're going to call and it does it, right?
Exactly.
But right now we don't. It's just like the sweet spot on technology, incentives, and the way the prices are going. This is the best year.
If you're going to do it for all residential customers, seriously, do it before 2023, because after that, I have to say this, you're ass out. There's no way to recoup from that. That is gone permanently. You're not getting back your rebates. No. Thank you, utility companies, for sticking that straw in there and sucking it out.
But you know why they're still going to do it? Do you know why they're going to still do it at 2023?
Why?
Well, 7% times the next 4 years.
Oh, of course.
Your rates will be up 28% by then.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, shoot. Yeah.
That's a guarantee.
But you would have lost
the
4 years of producing by solar and the 30% tax incentive you could have taken advantage of.
Doesn't that make sense? I mean, seriously.
People could say what they want. People can mislead you. People can lie. Numbers don't.
Numbers don't lie. That's exactly right.
So you just look at that, right? And people will be forced to still buy because their rates are up 28, 36%.
Hey, the cost of doing business may go up.
Yeah.
Well, if California continues to make solar more mandatory, what happens on mandatory product? Prices go up.
Yep, and it's just it's unfortunate. You should seriously take advantage of it now while you can.
It's like a car, right?
Yeah.
All right. Wheels cost why? Because they're mandatory.
That's right.
Absolutely.
Options, you right? You want
exactly.
You want this option. It doesn't cost quite as much because it's optional.
That's right.
You wanted an engine though. No, that's mandatory. That costs you.
That's right.
It's the same thing in solar. Right.
So great discussion, everybody. Yeah. Just watch out, everybody. The wolf is in the hen house.
Yes.
And whatever these guys do to try to make you buy this renewable energy is basically, you're going to buy it anyways at one point.
That's right.
But right now, it's optional. So tell these guys no. Do it yourself. Put it up on your roof. Make your home energy efficient. Get Title 24 compliant. Get HERS rated. At the end of the day, if you don't, it's going to hurt, and you can't cry anymore.
You're being told about it, but also
forewarned.
Really sure you're dealing with reputable people to take care of your problem, because there's a lot of companies out there that even just don't know how to design a proper system. I was on the phone.
It's just horrible.
On the phone with a commercial client, and the last two designs they've done, I'm wondering why it's not working, and it's poor design.
What was that? Their inverters were failing every 3 months?
Yeah, they've got.
Why is that?
Issues.
That's just crazy.
Exactly. There's something wrong with the design. It's not the inverter. there's something wrong in their design. We'll help them out and get to the bottom of that. But we'd rather not be fixers. We'd rather help you get it right the first time.
Get it right the first time.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
That's what
Okay, guys. Well, thanks for everything,
Yeah.
and we'll get this podcast out there. Curtis,
Thank
Rob.
you.
Hey, the
you, guys.
weekend's coming up. What do you guys got going on?
All bad.
Oh, I know you're going to the land of the.
Oh no.
Oh, you're
where's he
going to
going?
you're going to Sin City.
Vegas this weekend.
Yeah,
That's
he's
right,
taking
the birthday.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
man, have
he's
some
gonna have some
fun.
fun out there.
Thank you.
Just remember, double fours. Go to the craps table.
Man,
man.
I'm not good at it, so I would lose everything. So.
Yeah. What do you got going on, Rob?
I have no sleep. I hope.
You're working your butt off for sure.
Yeah, I hope some sleep.
I got my
Rest.
grandson's party, and then after that, I'm gonna go fly my new trilobite,
There you go.
and hopefully it doesn't rip my fingers off as I'm doing
Did
it.
you get
So
that heavier line?
I did, but it
There you
looks
go.
like rope. It's like huge, so
Yeah.
Oh,
I got to
wow.
figure that out at the end.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I appreciate you guys. Hey,
Thank
have a
you.
great weekend, and
too.
thanks for hanging out.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Take care, guys.
Take care,
Appreciate it.
everybody.
Take care.
The Energy Hour was brought to you by For beauty, efficiency, and power, the only product we know in the solar industry is Solaria. Maximum power. For nearly 25 years, Solaria has set the pace for solar panel performance, efficiency, reliability, quality, and design. Maximum power. Solaria continues to leverage its patented technology, engineering expertise, and sophisticated automation into creating one of the most attractive, energy-efficient solar panels available on the market today. Maximum power. What really defines home solar? How about Solaria? Quality you can trust for your home or business. Solaria is the new benchmark for solar energy. Where do you get this panel for your home or business? Go to QHIinc.com. That's QHIINC.com/Solaria. SOLARIA.